Using the direct instruction model for home tutoring, 5-step one-to-one teaching method. In the direct instruction techniques, step 1 is review. In the first step of your second and subsequent lessons with a tutoring student, you should review the basic concept from the last lesson. This may be done with a short worksheet activity, teacher-made game or activity, computer program, or textbook review. Maximum time on this step of the direct instruction technique should be 15 minutes on the review. Step 2 is the direct teach component, which lasts 15 to 20 minutes in length maximum. This step becomes the meat of your lesson. There are many ways that the tutor can disseminate information to the student. The most common one-to-one methods include modeling and demonstration. The tutor will work through a problem, showing the student the process. Step by step. It is very helpful for students to learn the structured step approach for many subjects, including math and science problem solving at the very least. As is true for all components of the DIM, the tutor must have an alternative method to use in case the student is struggling with the original teaching tactic. As is the case in all steps, the tutor must check for student understanding. Students give non-verbal cues or will just come out and say, "I still don't get it," at which point you pull out the alternative method of teaching the concept. Step 3 of the direct instruction technique is the guided practice stage, or 10 to 15 minutes in length. This is the most important step in terms of building the rapport with your student. Here, you will work through problems together as you guide the student towards mastery of that concept. This can also be the fun stage of the lesson. Some activities you could do include computer-generated games or activities, creative teacher-made short challenges, I do this, you do that concept, taking turns on problems, time challenges for the tax avoidance student, or flashcards or board games tweaked to revolve around the concept at hand. In step 4, we have the independent practice, 10 to 15 minutes in length. This stage of the lesson, though, is not always done. If you find you are short on time or are totally convinced the student has mastered the concept, proceed directly to the evaluation component of the lesson. However, if you have a reluctant student or one with low confidence that needs the guidance of the tutor at a distance, this step proves very useful. Again, a short worksheet, self-checking computer activity, or a section of the homework assignment would all be fair game as activities in this. Finally, we have step 5, the evaluation component of the direct instruction technique. Keep in mind, every lesson must have a goal or objective with which to measure a student's progress or mastery of the concept being taught. The lesson objective will point back to this step. You are testing the student with no assistance to see whether or not he or she has mastered the concept. The lesson objective sample is very important. And here we go. Using a short worksheet of 20 sentences on correct punctuation, John will write 16 out of 20 sentences correctly or with at least 80% accuracy. I have just given you the goal, which uses the ABC method for writing objectives. Many teacher training programs go into great depth on this technique. Here we'll take a snapshot of it. Every lesson must have a goal or objective that the student is working towards to see if he or she has reached mastery of a concept. Broken down, that goal has 3 parts. A equals antecedent, B equals behavior, and C equals condition. The antecedent part sets up the scene or explains the instrument used to funnel towards that objective. The behavior component is telling what the student will do. The student will perform a task with which to accomplish that goal. It's observable, it's measurable. Finally, C is condition. A measurable percentage or goal is communicated by with which the teacher can objectively determine whether or not the student met the goal. From here, some teachers may chart the results on a progress monitoring graph, so it may be examined later on to see the progress the student has made over a period of time on that concept taught. This is very, very useful for parent-teacher conferences as well as IEP special education meetings and planning sessions. We hope this was very helpful, but now let's do a brief overview of the DIM technique. The direct instruction model can work for all subjects and at all grade levels, including college students. It may be presented formally or informally in the lesson. The tutor may create a lesson plan before meeting with a student or work impromptu from an assignment while still using the DIM steps in teaching the lesson, and then go back later on after the lesson and write the lesson plan down. Just remember, the key point to remember is to make this lesson as structured yet as creative as possible. You never want to bore a student. Keep them actively involved and entertained while still learning the concept. This will help the student work towards gaining interest and ownership in his or her own learning. For more information about the DIM technique in regards as it relates to home tutoring, you may contact me, Brian S. Lynch, founder and owner of Mr. Tutor Mobile Tutoring Service, LLC of Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, Iowa. You may email me at Brian, that's B-R-I-A-N, at mobiletutorservice.com, or give me a call at area code 319-721-2225. Make sure you visit our website as well at www.mobiletutorservice.com. Check out some of my articles on eZine and WordPress. And also follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/MrTutor1612, or find us on Facebook at http://companies.to/MrTutorIowa. We thank you for your attention and hope you can use this technique in furthering the benefits of your teaching situation. Thank you for joining us.